Welcome back just in time for today's recall roundup. First, you want to check your medicine cabinet. Some Gas X extra strength soft gels are being recalled right now because they could have been contaminated with a coolant caused by machine leakage while the packages were being processed. Now, the FDA says that no illnesses have been reported so far and no other Gas X products were impacted. Also under recall today, baby bottles sold at Walmart because of a potential choking hazards. Parents pay close attention. Tommy's Boone Nurse 8-ounce reusable baby bottles were sold in a 3-pack in pink tie-dye. Now, the company has received 135 reports of the outer plastic shell peeling or breaking apart. Now, the bottles were sold only at Walmart from November 2025 up until last month. And Subaru is recalling its 2026 Forester model and the Forester Hybrid because of issues with the moonroof on this car. The recall notice says that the moonroof may not be installed properly because of a lack of primer. Over time, the moonroof glass can detach, which could cause a serious injury or a crash. Now, there have been 3 reports of this panel detaching, and luckily no one was hurt. Notices will be sent out next month, so keep an eye out for that, and Subaru dealers will replace your panel for free. Also,